So have to give it a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. I don't know what the time frame is. I notice if I start talking straight away, it misses. So not sure actually how long it is. Anyways, hello. So it's Monday early afternoon, and walking with Alvin and Zena along the Burloyne Avon River, and I'm going to turn around and show you this stunning river. So this is obviously the land part. There's Alvin and Zena up there in the I wonder what's blocking that. Something's blocking the camera. That's unusual. Okay, so here's the river, everyone. So last year we had so much rain that it went up to halfway up that tree, or probably over that tree and across there, and this whole thing was under water, and I thought that happened every single year, so I was waiting for it to happen this year, but it actually didn't. You can see the water, see all that wetness there? That was full of water a few days ago, and you can see that it's starting to subside. The reason being is we're getting really hot days, really cold nights and really hot days, but look at the flow. Isn't that beautiful? So peaceful. So the main reason why I really wanted to do this YouTubey from this section is because I just want to share you this peace. It's such a blessing. Some of you might have turbulent lives. Not sure. Some of you might live in cities or apartments, or you don't get a chance to see nature. I know a lot of people in Northern who don't even walk this river. I know people that don't even know. When I explain them the Burloyne up to Maresque walk, they don't actually even know what I'm talking about. And even in summer, this river, I found bits of, even at the latest part of the hottest part of the summer, I found water to jump in and swim in. Some of it wasn't, a lot of it was stagnant, but I was finding some deep pool areas. And so now I'm not, just as I was starting to feel like there was nowhere for the dogs to swim and nowhere for me to cool my feet down on those, walking along this, this dries out in summer, so walking along this dry riverbed. The earlier YouTube footage, you'll see that the riverbed's really dry, and I'm showing you all the patterns in the river from the water flow. So basically, Alvin, Zena, come on. So basically, I'll have to answer that later. I'll just send her a message. Also, I'll call her back. A friend of mine's just ringing me, so I'll just send her a text message saying I'll call her back. What was I talking about? Yeah, a lot of people I know don't even know about this walk. And today I got a load of wood, another big load, $160 worth, and it should get me through the rest of winter. We've got really cold nights, freezing cold nights, so I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing. This is just that little bit too hot at the moment. I have a scarf, I had to take it off. But sometimes I still need it. There's just the 2 layers. But it's just that tiny bit too hot for this time of day. So we're definitely, the weather is definitely getting really warm in during the day. And I've been doing a lot of outdoor work on my property. And yesterday I was sweating profusely, and yuck, it's like you can really tell summer's coming around. Last week and the week before, when I was working outdoors and I had my different layers on, I didn't even need a collared shirt, and I definitely didn't pick up a sweat. It was like almost perfect working conditions, actually. Not too hot, but not raining either. So But now you can really feel the heat picking up, and you can see that the water's drying out through the sand. Cycle's life, it's amazing. It really won't be long before summer's here. But we're still getting frost in the morning. It's so interesting. We get these really hot days. Some of our days right now, we're still in winter, and some of our days are so hot. It's like, wow, it's almost like summer. Like I'm having to starting to water the garden now, and yet we're having having to light the fire at night. It's really amazingly like, I don't know, what word can I use? Yesterday I was out in the garden. I was doing heaps of weeding and rose cutting, and so I've got to mulch. So I've got to do some more manuring and more mulch soon. But at about 5 o'clock, I went, okay, now I had a small amount of wood left over. I was so blessed, just enough to get through last night. And Avon just dug some sand onto my leg. I don't like that. Anyways, yeah, basically, I was still sweating. It was still boiling hot, and I had to think about getting the wood ready in 1.5 hours when the sun went down, because it was going to get freezing cold. It's really interesting having to think like that. So it's like being prepared. So I'm out there in the heat, sweating, going, soon it's going to be freezing cold. And I was prepping the day, prepping what I had to do. And it was really awesome. I'm really proud of myself. What I did was I lit the fire at about 4:30, chopped the wood, chainsawed some wood, chopped some other wood. I was really lucky that I had enough to get through last night. And not lucky, blessed. But basically what happened was I lit the fire, and then I went back out into the garden. I got the fire established, with the kindling, and got the small bits and then the bigger bits on. Got it to the point where it was medium-sized wood that was burning really well. Put it on slow burn, and went out into the garden and did more weeding for 1 more hour. And then I actually wanted to do a live last night because of what I was experiencing yesterday. It was so beautiful. So the sunset was exquisite. Our sunsets are so beautiful here. I really need to do some footage. I really need to show you the sky. The sky up here is just absolutely next level amazing. Well, you can see how amazing it is now. Sunset time, the colours in the clouds, it's just phenomenally beautiful. I really should be taking more videos and more camera photos. Anyways, I'm out there. I'm working in that beautiful sunset afternoon, and I work until it gets dark. And I used to do this when I first moved up here in November 2021. I was out in the garden until night time. I was actually out there doing landscaping work, rock work, gardening work. Well, initially I had to do a lot of pruning and a lot of had to take back a lot of 10-year overgrown bushes, a lot of Tacoma and sorry, that was just Zena buffing into me. Tacoma, plumbago and lantana, 10 years overgrown. The whole property was just covered in overgrown trees because the property got bought from an elderly couple, and they declared to me that they hadn't done anything for about 10 years, much. So basically a lot of overgrown shrubberies. That took me a long time. I was doing that in the peak of summer 2021. That was actually hard work, but got the land prepared and ready for gardening. And then I started, really getting into the land, like gardening, landscaping. Oh, it was so amazing. I was coming in quite late at night. So last night, late, really early evening in the river. So basically last night, I worked until it was really quite dark. Could barely see. And I come in and the fire's going and, the house is cozy. And I actually prepped it to make it cozy so I could go back out there and keep working the land. And I was really proud of myself because it was so nice to get that balance of working land hard, working hard, but making sure I had nourishment and nurturing for when I came in after working so hard. So I come in and obviously I'm dirty and tired and hungry and blah, blah. The fire's lit, that beautiful orange glow. The coldness has kicked in and my house is warm and cozy. So the first thing I do, of course, is feed the animals. The second thing I do is run a hot bath for myself. The fires, then I get the bigger pieces of wood in, so it's really warm at this point. Get the house really, 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 really warm. I had the bath first because at the moment my shower's not working because I need to get the shower recess waterproofed and tiled, and just waiting on body energy and money as well. So I've got the waterproofing, I've got the plaster and the waterproofing products, so I can get that part of it done. And then I need to get help with the actual tiling part of it because it's got to be done proper because it's a water area. So yeah, I can't have showers at the moment, so it's always baths. So I have this hot bath with the candles and the magnesium and the coconut oil. It nourishes my skin, gets me clean. And I had an idea of what I was going to make for dinner because I was reheating up. I think you call it bubble and squeak. So I was reheating up steamed vegetables and Brussels sprouts, broccoli, spinach and potato from the night before. And I'd had some defrosted turkey rissoles. So it was a healthy, easy dinner that I knew wasn't going to take too long. I just felt really proud of myself, everyone, and it felt so nourishing and nurturing. And then I sat and ate dinner whilst watching a movie. So I'm sitting in front of this fire, really warm night, really warm house, healthy dinner. I'm all clean. I'd done a big day at church and then a big day of work on the garden. I just felt, yay, Nadina, you're really creating good balance here. Well done, you. Like creating that house, doing hard labour and creating a nourishing atmosphere when you live on your own is quite challenging, and for me. And then today, everyone, and you know what I love about this story? I'm so proud of myself that I actually texted a few friends. So proud of myself. This has been an ongoing issue for quite a while now. Sorry, going under a tree. I find it really hard to eat breakfast in the morning. And I know that I'm actually holding myself back with my health by not giving myself enough nourishment. I know it's part of the reason why my body is extra tired and potentially why some of my muscle fatigue is there, and maybe some of what I think is premenopausal symptoms is actually just me being hungry, not even realising it. Because I'm so used to being hungry, because I prioritise feeding the dogs, I prioritise paying bills. I don't prioritise feeding myself. I don't prioritise my physical nourishment. And so there's two things that have happened recently, and I'm so proud of myself. But I'll start with this morning first. When I made the animals their breakfast, and believe me, it's a very healthy breakfast, with fresh pet mince that I get from the butchers, and it's just freshly minced up whatever they don't sell for that day. It's $3 a kilo, so it's a mixture of whatever they don't sell. It's so healthy. Fresh pet mince, grated carrot, the kiblets, an egg. And I buy so many eggs for the animals, and the amount of I haven't eaten an egg on my own. I spend all this money on the animals, feeding them, and I actually very rarely eat. So, I get donated meat. Every week I get donated meat, and that goes to the dogs. And this time, like last night, I actually cooked up the turkey rissoles for myself rather than give it to the dogs. I was really proud of myself for that. And I'd never eat the eggs. All these eggs I buy each week, and I never eat an egg. And years ago, I became anorexic. And I was actually in a Royal Perth Hospital in Perth. And they reckon that I had half an hour to live. And they were doing surgery on me in a storeroom in the hospital with nurses holding torches because it was just the overhead light. They just wheeled me, and there was no beds available. And they wheeled me into this storeroom. I could see the shelves everywhere full of hospital supplies. It was tiny. There was barely enough room for the hospital trolley, let alone the doctor and the 3 or 4 or 5 nurses that were there. There was 4 or 5 or 6 people in the room. There was way more than 4. There was people all around me. Basically, people holding tools, people holding torches. And afterwards, they said that I had basically I had half an hour to live. My throat was closing in on itself. I had a quinsy. And the reason why I had a quinsy was because my whole body was so run down because I was just getting no nourishment because I was so anorexic. I couldn't eat food. I was so used to me struggling to feed my children. I made sure they got everything and I went without. And I used to work really hard and basically, hang on, I'm just going down a steep, but I just have to be careful. I just have to be a bit careful going down here because it's a bit steep. And so I ended up making myself so sick that apparently by the time I got to the hospital, apparently I only had half an hour to survive. So it was an emergency surgery. And my doctor said to me, my GP afterwards said to me, you just got to eat 1 egg a day. If that's all you can if that's all you can get in your body, just 1 egg a day. Eggs have everything. That's why God provided us chickens, I think. The eggs. Everything in an egg just pretty much everything. It's a full meal in itself. So today, I was like, Nadina, you're always feeding the animals and you very rarely feed yourself. And you never eat any of the eggs. You never eat any of the eggs that you buy. So all the money I spend on eggs, I don't ever eat one of them myself. I'm like, if it's not that hard to cook an egg, it doesn't take that long. And if that's all you eat, well, then you're okay. So today, I literally forced myself, and this is a really big deal, everyone, I forced myself to cook 2 poached eggs whilst I was prepping the animals' breakfast. And then after I fed them, I put these 2 poached eggs in a bowl with, chili sauce and pepper and salt. And I had my coffee and I went out to the love seat out the back in the sun and I ate breakfast. I ate 2 eggs this morning. And it's the beginning of a new habit. It's actually the beginning of me giving myself an egg a day, because if I give myself an egg a day, I literally am going to be okay. My health is going to improve astronomically from eating breakfast and from eating 1 egg a day. So I'm really proud of myself, everyone. I am so proud of myself that I actually sent a message to people letting them know I ate breakfast today. I actually cooked some eggs and ate breakfast today. And the people who know me really well goes, well done you, woohoo! It's Avon, because I've been meaning to do this for a long time and I just haven't been able to get my mind around. I remember that first bite of that egg, I was trying really hard to keep it down. It was so hard to digest the idea of eating, because the idea of eating first thing in the morning is just so repulsive to me. But I've got a mindset around it that I can't stomach food in the morning, so it's a narrative. Because after I had that first bite of the egg, I was like, oh, yum, yum, yum. So my body's hungry. I don't even know it sometimes. See now, Alvin? We're near the picnic areas now, and I just saw a car in the distance pull up. I can tell you, everyone, this is actually hot. This is a really nice jumper. Oh, it's actually a dress jumper. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, and it's actually a bit hot. Anyways, so proud of myself. Woohoo! And the other thing that I did recently was I was so depressed the other day, like so depressed with my ailing body, my body pains, and everything just felt too hard. And I went, Nadina, you've got to start looking after your health. You've got to, adults, no one else can do it. You've got to do it. It's got to be you that does it. So I went to the camp. I was really depressed, everyone. I could barely walk from depression. I could barely breathe from depression. I was in a really bad way, okay? And I forced myself to go into the chemist. And I bought myself olive leaf extract, apple cider vinegar, goji berry juice, got some calendula cream, because my skin, I keep getting these blemishes, these sores. I don't know if it's because of being premenopausal, because I'm working in the garden, I'm getting sap from the different plants that I work with, or I don't actually know what it is, but I noticed that I keep getting these sores that take a while. Like this one, I had one here that lasted months. I finally got rid of that. But this one here, I've had that for a couple of weeks now. It's not sore, but it just won't go away. And I got sap up here the other day from one of the plants that I was cutting. I don't know. I think it's from gardening. I'm pretty sure it's from gardening. So I got calendula ointment, which is amazing for wounds. Alvin! Zena, quick! Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Here's the darlings. Come on. Oh, I thought I'd turned around. Showing little Zena being Alvin! Here he is. The majestic being. Come on. It's like a small lion. Almost, isn't he? Really wanted to get them down here while it was hot today, because Zena's got really thick fur and it doesn't dry quickly. I think it's good for when she's I think it's good for her for when she's in winter. It keeps her warm, and maybe. But when I first had her, I nearly lost her. It took me 3 hours to keep her alive. She overheated when she was a young pup. And it was one of my, her tongue was rolling out of her mouth, her eyes were rolling behind, her gums went blue, her heartbeat went to almost nothing, and she was completely listless. And when I rang the vet, they said, you've got to get some electrolytes in her, rub some ice on her nose and her paws, just get her nose and her paws wet, try to bring her temperature down. I took out a mango, an iced frozen mango from my freezer, hoping that she'd lick it. Oh my gosh, it was so scary, everyone. And then I rang one of my friends and they came up with some coconut water with got electrolytes in it, and we gave her some coconut water, and she could putting it on her tongue. 3 hours non-stop it took me to keep her alive, and it was a harrowing experience. It was absolutely one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had in my life, because every second I didn't know if that was going to be her last breath. So scary. And it's because she got too hot. She's black and she's got really thick coat, double coat. And I didn't know that the double thickness and the blackness, those two things together, her temperature. So I hope she's going to be okay in the summer. Hope as she gets, because she's older, there she is. Hope as she's older. I hope now that she's not such a young pup, now she's 9 months old, what I'm hoping is she can regulate, because you know how pups can't regulate their temperature. So I hope, but I'm going to watch her this summer. But I can tell you now, winter, she loves swimming, she takes forever to dry, and she seems to get cold and I have to wrap her up in a blanket. And then summer, she gets really hot. I don't actually understand if this dog's supposed to survive naturally. Like, I'm wondering if she's a breed that would naturally survive. So she's very robust, but I wonder. if she didn't have me helping her out, if she'd be able to survive the winters and the summers. And I'm just wondering also, is black a natural colour for animals? If they can't handle the heat that well. Anyways, that's a side issue, everyone. But yeah, I'm doing this midday walk is better than coming here at 5 because at least she's got time to dry. Now, when I went down to the chemist, it cost me $170. $170 a product. Well, everything I bought, apple cider vinegar is a pH, a blood cleanser. Everyone, you will never get cancer if you take apple cider vinegar. Cancer cannot exist with the body that's got a equalized pH blood system. Okay, cancer does not need to exist at all. The doctors and the world just keep cancer alive because it's a multi-million-dollar industry. Trust me, cancer is completely healable. Apple cider vinegar. Everything else too with blood health. So apple cider vinegar with mother is the elixir and the cure. That's just fermented apple or fermented pear. Oh, well, it's fermented apple, but fermented pip fruit. No, let's just say fermented apple. So it's a natural product. And then you get your mother in there, which is the living enzyme. And that actually keeps your blood homeostasis in place. So it keeps your pH, your blood pH balanced. The acid and the alkaline in your blood get balanced out to the point where nothing can exist in there that's not supposed to be there. Okay, that's one thing. Olive leaf extract is one of the most powerful antioxidants you could ever imagine. And remember, it was the olive leaf in the dove. The olive leaf is the tree of peace. But everything about the olive tree is the elixir of life. Olive oil, olive leaf extract, olives. There's probably something about the olive tree bark as well. Olive trees are actually God's gift to us for pure health. So olive leaf extract, any throat, any respiratory issue, any microbe issues that you have in your gut, any antioxidant issues that you got going on. So olive leaf extract will heal. It's a really powerful antibiotic, a natural. So olive leaf extract, apple cider vinegar, goji berry juice is goji berries is a superfood, and goji berries, they're a natural antioxidant they're good metabolizing. They're very, very good for my situation, like premenopausal. They're really good for your eye health, for metabolic health, for metabolism health. So yeah, goji berry juice, apple cider vinegar, olive leaf extract. Those three things are amazing. Calendula, tea tree oil. Oh, there's only a few things we really need to be truly healthy in life. Obviously, healthy water is a big one. Drinking good, healthy, unpolluted water. Anyways, I did that. So I'm really starting to look after my health. And I feel so proud of myself for actually doing this because no one else can do it for me. It has to be me that does it for myself. And back at you. If you're feeling you got health issues, it's got to be you that runs the show. Like, we can't expect anyone else to step up and do the bare basics for us. Like, obviously when you're a child, you can expect a parent to help you out, but when you're an adult, it's got to be yourself that does it for yourself. So yep, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, they're really big wins. And really it's about trusting. How do we simplify this? So we really succumb to the blessings of life. We accept and completely surrender to the blessings of life and surrender to the guidance and the blessings of what God's providing. We do need to be in action with God's guidance. And so we do need to take responsibility for our vessel. We need to really take responsibility for looking after this God's vessel. And yes, miracles abound. And yes, God provides miracles constantly for our health and our well-being and our, if we might have some, like I know someone who's been pretty much wheelchair bound and now he can walk because he's had a really astounding miracle occur for him. And he's also had eyesight that was diminishing really rapidly, and now he doesn't even need glasses. So he's got the medical reference, the medical certificates and everything to say he's had God's miracle happening in his body. So he is going to be a true Lazarus of miracles of God. And when I was speaking to him the other day about all the things I wish that I could have a full miracle of, this lady said to me, well, maybe your miracle was that you got to a point where you could walk again. So I couldn't walk. When was it? 2006 or something. I was unable to walk. My knee was so injured, and even though it hurts all the time, and I have to be very mindful of my knee, I was told I probably wouldn't be able to walk properly ever again. I was like, stop that for a bad joke. I'm going to be able to dance again. So I really worked on Pilates and acupuncture. Two things, of course, that the doctors never once mentioned, because when has a doctor ever done anything to help anyone out? When they're not allowed to. I'm pretty sure they're silenced. I'm pretty sure they're censored, and they're not actually allowed to tell us anything that can actually help us heal, because we've got to, the government wants us to be sick, needs us to be sick. So Pilates and acupuncture, the two things that got me able to use my knee again and walk again properly. And even though I have this constant pain, maybe it's to remind me that there was a time that it's not an excruciating constant pain. Other times it's worse than others. So sometimes it doesn't hurt that much at all, and other times it hurts a lot. But, there was a time when I couldn't walk. So maybe that was my miracle. And I had a major gum disease, and I got told all my teeth were going to fall out, and it was a $30,000 surgery thing, and I've never had the money. So I started drinking, apple cider vinegar, lots of chilies, honey, like unprocessed, unheated honey is the most natural antibiotic you could ever have, and it heals skin wounds, teeth issues, throat issues, powerful stuff. So I was having heaps of honey, heaps of chilies. I was just eating whole chilies. So I was doing anything I could to clean my blood out. And then my gum disease disappeared, and I had all this stuff happening in my palate, my whatever you call the bone under there. And there was an MRI that showed all these black areas where the bone was being eaten away. And then a year and a half later, that blackness, the eaten away, was gone, and the bone was actually re-healing itself. And that was from chili, honey, and lemon juice, which I then later changed to apple cider vinegar. So I beat a major gum disease. I've also got my leg working again. I've done a heap of other things. I ripped my shoulder out with a power tool injury, and I couldn't lift my arm up at all, and now I can again. And not only can I lift it up, that hurts. There's a bit of pain. There actually is some pain in there, but the thing is, I couldn't actually move my arm, lift it, do anything. Now I've got full, and I can feel a tension there and a soreness there, but maybe I need to feel it to remind myself that, so this time last year, I actually couldn't even lift my arm up. This right arm was useless. I was completely crippled. So I've had lots of miracles. I believe I've had lots of godly miracles. But at the same time, hemp seed oil for the inflammation is another thing I bought from the chemist. They're giving you lots of medical advice, everyone. And trust me, that's medical advice that will keep you alive and healthy. Magnesium. Magnesium is amazing for anxiety and obviously for body aches and pains. Magnesium taken orally and also in the bath water, hot water. Amazing. I might just leave it at that for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this YouTube video. I'm off to do some more work on the backyard. I've got lots to do. Now's the time when I'm going to start digging up I've got to dig trenches and stuff to get the old, I've got to find the old retic pipes and pull them up It's really hard work. So the soil is still a bit wet, but it's also drying out. So soon it's going to become clay, like dried clay, and almost impossible to dig, hard to dig. Right now it's still just that little bit. Oh, I'll show you Xena. Come on, darling. She loves swimming. You having fun? Woohoo! That's pretty strong current in there, hey? Stronger than you might think. Well done, darling. She loves swimming. Like a seal. Okay, and so basically what I'm going to say to you all is, yeah, I'll probably dig up the rechick, and all winter, like ever since I've bought the property, I've been able to hear a water sound behind my bed, behind the bedroom wall, and so I think there's an ongoing water issue happening. I've spoken about this many times before, and Water Corp won't help me find it, and so I've got to dig up a lot of land to find these old pipes, and it could be like 1 metre or 2 metres down. I don't know how far down they are, but I'm really looking forward to finding where this water sound is coming from, and now's the time to do it. Hard work. Oh my gosh, such hard work. And I've got to put some fences in as well to get ready for, I really want to get some chookies, and I really want to also replant out the areas that my young dogs destroyed and get it pretty again. So I've got to put lots of digging. So I'm probably going to do that for a few hours, and for the rest of this afternoon, you know, and just yep, keeping on going. Yesterday I did so much weeding. 1/4 acre block I've got, and the weeds get pretty high, a lot of land. Yeah, it's really lots to do, and I realise it's a bit by bit process, and working with the cycles of not just the energy, not just the weather, but also what your body can and can't do. So because I'm now taking all these extra supplements, I'm feeling a little bit more, I don't know, I'm just feeling a bit more revitalised, or maybe it's a placebo effect, but I actually do feel like I've got more energy again finally, but I know I don't. I know I can see how haggard I look, and also I'm tired all the time. So I'm aware that I've still got a lot to do. So I hope you find this inspiring, because it doesn't matter how crippled we feel, we've got to keep going. And one of the best things to do is we honour God. God will heal us, but we've also got to be in action to what can we do to heal ourselves in God's grace. So I guess that's the message, and enjoying our wonderful blessings. Like, like I just treasure these walks along this river. I'll show you again. Enjoy it while you can. So I work really hard as a gardener, so when I have my days off, I like, just enjoying. It's great to have balance, work and play. Got to have balance, and creating the nourishment, like what I did last night, like creating the house to be cozy before coming in. That was a really wonderfully self-loving thing to do, to light the fire, go out and utilize the rest of the daylight, and then the house is warming up, and I come into that warm house with that orange glow of that fire. That was a very self-loving, self-nurturing way of working hard on the land and honouring myself. I was so proud of myself, and with the eggs today, so proud of myself. So I really hope I'm inspiring you guys to create good habits. A little Xena in the water again. I'm really hoping I'm inspiring you guys to realise it's never too late to create a good habit. Never too late to start the habits that we keep. We talk and talk. Sometimes I've been wanting to give myself a healthy breakfast for a long time, years, and I knew that an egg was the solution, and I just kept, resisting it. Why? It only takes half a minute to put the eggs on, the poached eggs in water. Seriously, it's just a habit. And I think there's procrastination. Sometimes I think we deliberately procrastinate because if we keep ourselves small, we keep ourselves unhealthy, we can do a narrative of, oh, I can't do it because I'm not well. Or we can actually do a negative narrative, a victim. Come on, little one, you're going to get swept away if you're not careful. So basically, we've got to change those habits that we know don't work. One of the habits I really need to change one of the habits I really need to get in action is my daily writing. I miss it so much. I don't know why. I'm so resistant to writing. I don't know why. It's like the egg thing. It's really not that hard to just put an egg on and eat an egg a day. So the next thing I've got to challenge is my daily writing, because I love writing. I'm a writer. And I don't know why I'm blocking it so much. It's like, yeah, keep myself small. Like, because I know once I start writing, woof, I'm in that next empowered stage in my life. So you can pray for me to get that habit in action with the writing, and let me know what you need me to pray for, or I just pray for you. Whatever it is that what you need to create in your life that you've been blocking and resisting for whatever reason, let this be your inspiration to just do it. Just do it, and I'm praying for you. Okay? Adios, amigos. God bless. And see you next time. Okay, bye.